Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 27 of the 30 Days of Transformation, a journey to your true self. Welcome and happy Easter. And this is later than I normally come on, but as I said when I started these, that I'm coming on every day as I can, when I can. And so it just so happened that my day got a little derailed in a very good way, but I started off and had a project I was going to go into for the retreat coming up here in Sedona. And then a new project came in with some kind of exciting news I won't go into here, but it just took all day. Literally, haven't even had dinner yet. Jeremiah's making us dinner. I'm going to go have dinner, but I wanted to get on here and honor my 27th day here to share with you tips, tools, techniques to help you elevate, expand, and evolve into your true self through this journey of transformation. So today our topic is talking about navigating your journey as towards your true self, like following the stars, so to speak. What that means is I'm going to share this from a couple standpoints. One is the stars is astrology. But on the flip side of that, I'm not going to go into all the astrological ideas of what fully astrology is and, all the astrological signs and, go into astrology itself. What I really want to use and talk about is how just the astrology itself affects us on our journey to our true selves, so that you can kind of come into this sense of realizing in some ways your destiny is written in the stars. You have signed up. Hey, love. Hi, Stacy. You have signed up for the journey. And what I want to point out in that is there's a combination of a higher plan, a plan that's in your soul contract that is part of what's written in the stars. But in addition to that, how it links to the astrology aspects of that, all of the astrology itself is a magnetic force. It is energy. It's a universal energy, a universal timeline, a universal process that obviously affects us from an internal state. And then we also affect the collective. So with that being said, they're all in our birth chart, so to speak, which is our divine plan, which is a piece of what we've signed up for to experience. We plan to come in at an exact day, exact time, and how we came in is aligned with our soul lessons that we've basically signed up for. That aligns with the universal energy that gives us those experiences from a planetary standpoint that can impact how we navigate the energy of the universe, how it affects us internally, and how that aligns through a combination of all the astrology signs. And so I want to talk about that for a minute now that I mentioned that. When it comes to astrology signs, a lot of people tend to look at that and be like, okay, well, I'm a Leo and I have these certain traits, and I am a Leo. So there are very similar characteristics in all these signs, right? And again, I'm not here to talk about the astrology of them. I'm here to bring a different point of it, how that affects your journey of your true self and how that links to your birth journey, your birth chart, but how your birth chart is the blueprint of your life, so to speak, that was already pre-planned and already destined. So yes, our journey is written in the stars. There is free will in that journey and how we navigate the process. And there's many other factors involved in it. I just wanted to bring this in as a concept and idea for something for you to think about, something for you to look at, something for you to connect to, because sometimes when it comes to the characteristics of, say, your astrology sign, I'll just give you an example of this. A lot of times people talk about Leos of being ego, needing all this attention and needing certain things. Okay. Well, I have a lot of, traits of a Leo. I've really never been egotistical on the level that they portray it to be. But the key in that is, while there might be certain traits and certain characteristics of someone in a certain sign, we also become evolved beings. And means we don't have to give our power away to think, I am a Leo, so I am stuck in this paradigm. All right. This is the part I want to talk about, because if we're moving to our true selves and our birth chart, our birth plan says we're moving in one direction that we kind of signed up for, while we do have to follow the plan, we get to navigate it, but we don't have to buy into the idea that we're stuck in anything just because we are a certain sign or the planets are a certain way. Okay, that's kind of my take on this. So in the journey to the true self, we have a conscious idea of what we want to create, a conscious idea of who we are, and a conscious idea of like who we want to become when I talk about those things. Then we have our higher self that knows our divine destiny, our divine design. That is the part I'm connecting to here, that's saying that is a blueprint inside of your soul that is like created through the chart and the alignment of all of the astrological planetary alignments that create a magnetic force that affects us in some ways. Definitely think about, when, just a simple one, a full moon, the tide comes in. I used to work in labor and delivery, and there would be lots of births, on a full moon because of the water, and it pulls on the water, right? So that's why I'm trying to bring this in again, that these things do affect you and they can affect you. But know that because you're going on the journey to your true self, you have free will, you are evolving, you're creating self-mastery. So whatever planet you're, well, I will say planet, because there's not just our sun sign. We have our moon, our rising. So we might be one sign, but all the signs connected into a configuration create also like a connection to how much of what one of the other that you're dynamically being affected by, how these planets come together. So so you can create self-mastery through this journey to your true self without getting too hung up on the idea that I'm just that way because I'm a certain sign, or that the planets are a certain way. In the self-mastery of that, you get to also evolve into a new being. So, and I'll give you an example, another way I could say this in some ways, that how everything affects us. So, Leos, they say, are sunny and shiny and bright, and they go into this space of wanting attention. Okay. Now that's what's interesting. I've never been that person. I might be I'm a sunny person and I shine, but I actually ran from the shine, which is opposite of what they kind of say Leos do. So I actually have spent my whole life trying to step into the spotlight and step up into being seen in that way, knowing that, I did kind of naturally fall into those places. But when I always ended up there, I'm like, okay, I don't really like this. This feels uncomfortable. I don't want to be here. And a piece of that was because my dad, loved me so much. He put me on this pedestal. And I was always like, I don't want to be on this pedestal. I don't want to be seen. We'd go out to a meal and have dinner somewhere, and waitresses would come up and he'd be like, he'd always be like, this is my doctor, because my chiropractic background, or, she's a author and, works with people around the world and all these things. And I'd just be like, I want to step off this stool right now. I want to crawl under this table and puke, honestly. That's how I felt. And, that's how I grew up, him doing that. And so, then what was really ironic was, as I evolved into this more evolved being of me, I was actually evolving into seeing myself in that spotlight or in the limelight, and seeing that brightness in myself on some level. And actually then at some point desiring I think I would want that, and even in a partner, to acknowledge me, to see me, to, share my shine, And the funny thing is, I have that in my beloved. He's always, in fact, I think he just made a post just yesterday. I saw it today about, you know, a video that I created for our retreat that's coming up here in Sedona, and it was posted in Visit Sedona and some other places, and he was sharing how happy he was that I had made this video and produced it, and but you know what, like, I don't have to have that kind of recognition, but I want you to know I actually like enjoy it now. And this is again a little bit of what I'm saying in the traits, how don't get too hung up on what a trait may or may not be, because you are you. You get to choose who you want to be. You get to define who you are. You don't have to be in the constraints of just because the stars are one way, or you're a certain sign, that you are limited. And then on the flip side of that, then I would say on the opposite of that is to, be careful not to also acknowledge that that is an energy that's the divine plan that's connected to those stars. So there's a real happy medium in this whole thing. So if you've been caught up in this idea that, you're maybe thinking that you're limited because of that. And I didn't finish this, what I was going to say a while ago, and I'll tell you why that brought it back up, is that, what, when I also have a Cancer rising, and that is when I always say, Cancers want to go into their shell, and they want to kind of hide, and they want to pull back, and they feel emotional, and occasionally they want to go into their shell, just to kind of get away from things. That's the trait that they have. Hello, Heidi. Welcome. Thank you. Oh, and remind me, I'll tell you about Champ in a second too. I'll bring that up from yesterday whenever I was sharing about his experience. I want to thank all of you for the prayers because it's working. He's down here now by me, and yesterday after I got done with this video, he was the best he'd been since we'd been back from Hawaii. So thank you, everyone who said a little prayer for him yesterday and held us up based on, having an emotional time with his health that was really concerning me. But okay, I, being a Leo on a cusp of a Cancer cusp, and also a Cancer rising, I say sometimes I want to go in my den. Like, I need some space. I need to decompress. I need to kind of just stay in. But I think in all of this, it's about finding balance too, because again, the reason I'm bringing this up, if you're just joining me, is because we're journeying to our true self. And while our destiny is written in the stars, and while we do have a navigating life through the process of astrology on some level based on our sign and who we are and characteristics, we also then, on the flip side of that, we don't have to be limited and give our power away and realize we might be a master some of the weaknesses in some of these signs. You see what I'm saying? That's the point. There's so many signs that might say that there are certain weaknesses in the people that are of that sign. But you coming into your true self can actually master what those things are. Give you another example. They say Aries are hot-headed, and they get, angry really easily and quick to temper, and, all these things. And some of them might not do it as quick as others, but if you ever push them to the corner, they're going to eventually come out, all fire, because they're, fire. And again, these are true things that are connected to the stars and connected to us energetically. But when you go through your transformation and you're mastering your true self comes into a place of peace. Your true self has compassion. Your true self has empathy. Your true self takes a pause and a break and a connecting within, that maybe you learn how to respond before you react and overreact. Like that could be if you get hot-headed. Okay. So again, this is the part I just want to bring to the table of you recognizing that, yes, there's a divine plan. Yes, you have a plan. And yes, you even have unconscious things blocking that plan. And if you pull too hard to one direction, there are certain things in your divine plan written in the stars that's going to pull you in the opposite direction. So if you are navigating your journey, pulling out of alignment with your divine destiny and what you signed up to in your soul blueprint that's written in those stars, you will be fighting yourself all the way through the process until you surrender into what you signed up for that is written in the stars. So, all right. So this is what I wanted to say today and share, and just food for thought really on that today. Today, give different tips, tools, techniques. Today is more food for thought, a whole different spin on astrology to look at it as we can become self-mastered, create self-mastery of our strengths and our weaknesses of, say, what signs we are, and then what the planetary alignment of those astrological things, even down to Mercury retrograde and all kinds of things that we could look at. Okay, well, don't sign a contract and don't buy something. That might be true in some cases, but on the flip side of that, use your intuition and also connect to that in such a way that don't limit yourself either, right? So I just wanted to kind of take a peek here at a couple of things we have. So let's see, we have Stacy here. Oh, good. You're so happy. Oh, thank you, Stacy. You're so happy he's doing good. I appreciate it. You were here too. Thank you. Thank you. And Heidi, thank you so much as well. And let's see, Jeremiah says his first astrology book. He read his first astrology book. After completing the book, I consciously choose all the best parts of each sign. Oh, okay. When he was 12, he actually read his first astrology book. And so what he's saying here, and it's very good advice, after he completed the book, he consciously chose the best parts of each sign that he wanted to become. And he chooses to be the best parts of those signs, of all of them. And that doesn't surprise me, because that's how he is and who he is. And that's a really good, some really good advice to think about in this process. And kind of, it really reaffirms what I'm saying is, don't get too hung up on you're limited because you are a Libra, I'm going to do a better one, that you're an Aquarius. And I'm not putting anybody down in this, but I just wanted to say, like, what people think is that you're all airy fairy if you can't land the plane and you're too much air sign and you can't, bring things into motion. No, don't give your power away. You can learn how to put into motion different different tools and things that can help you actually be all that you came here to be, do, and have. And you don't have to be limited just because you come from one sign that says that you should have some limitation. Okay, so awesome. Is he a Pisces? No, he is a Taurus. He's a Taurus, Stacy. So yes. So, and welcome all of you on Instagram there. Aaron, hello, welcome. So if you're new to this, know that I've been talking about 30 days of transformation. Hi, David. Is that you over here on Instagram instead of being on YouTube usually? Are you a Taurus too, Stacey? That's cool if you are. Anyway, this is 30 days of transformation. Today is day 27, which is so hard to believe. And if you've missed all the other days and you want to go back and check it, you can go over to my YouTube channel and go on the playlist, A Journey to Your True Self. That's what this is. 30 days of transformation, and you will be able to go through all the days that I've done that's been very impactful, very informative. You can subscribe there. You can hit the notification bell. You'll get notified even for the next few days when I do come live. If you've missed this one, go back and watch the beginning. Go back and watch any of that you've missed. And if you'd like to join us here in Sedona. We're doing the Sedona Rejuvenation Retreat that's coming up this Thursday that we'll be planning for over the next few days, and super, super excited about it. I had like an activation and awakening and a connecting to like content I didn't even know was going to be content last night. And it really like put me in the space of just like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And that's part, like, I don't always know what's coming through until it comes through. And when it came through, I was just so super excited about it. And not that I wasn't already, but I got so excited. And speaking of my Leo passion and fire, like I woke up even on fire this morning of just like, oh my gosh. And then I feel like when I get in that state, that's when I can fully create too, from a place of connecting to a feeling that you have to create, not just know something. And that's what I've been working on. Oh, okay. So, oh, Brad was a Leo and you were a Taurus. Oh, that's so awesome. I know that, that Leo and Tauruses have a lot of, that is one thing I do want to say. Same thing with a couple. There are compatibility charts of certain things, and naturally certain things are compatible or not compatible just from who you are to begin with. And a lot of times people look at the chart between the two people. And again, that can and is a good idea because it can actually help you like navigate that. And that's one thing I will tell you is when you do know your chart and you do know your strengths and you do know your weaknesses and you do know your divine plan going through an astrology chart, which I do highly recommend. And, Tatiana did the card deck, the illustrations for the card deck for me. She's amazing at doing these birth charts and helping you with your soul blueprint, because the birth chart is your soul blueprint. And like I just love hers, and I've had a lot of them done by a lot of people. So you can go on here on my YouTube channel and you can find a series of astrology videos that we've done. And if you really want to get plugged into a birth chart, she can do one for you. If you just go into my playlist and you'll find some videos we did. And in the description, we'll have a link to schedule with her. So anyway, I send all of you loads of love. I'll be back tomorrow, and you'll find the information for the retreat in the description above or below, or on Instagram here, you will find it inside of the bio, the link in the bio. And let me just see what Stacey had to say here. I'm right about what they say about Leo and Tauruses and not supposed to be together. But you think it's all about the people. This is what I'm saying. So this is exactly what I'm saying. So you don't want to give your power away to these things, because the Leo and the Taurus, now that's not to say if people haven't done with their self-mastery, those weaknesses can exist. And then those compatibilities could be potentially a bombshell, right? But when you take two evolved people to their higher selves, even one, and you become your highest self and you become your best self and you become your true self, and you've stepped into self-mastery, you've mastered those weaknesses that can override all of this charts, astrology, like all of these things, to the level you can still come at it from a place of a higher place that's higher than just this idea of one concept. That's the point. So you've kind of elevated and ascended above this mainstream stuff that it does exist, but you creating self-mastery, and especially with the other person, incompatibility, and everyone that's compatible in that case. So it doesn't have to be just your relationship, it could be other people you connect with. When you're able to connect on a level that you're both stepped into your self-mastery, which is your true self, your higher self, which is the point of why I'm talking about this on this video, then you can create relationship harmony that supersedes a compatibility chart. Okay, so there you go. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night, evening, day, and I'll see you next time.